Hallo, Kaffee und Milch, bitte? How did I do? Kaffee und Milch, bitte. Hopefully that's correct. Is that right? Coffee with milk, please. Kaffee und Milch, bitte. Kaffee und Milch, bitte. Sounds about right. All right. Germans, coffee, cake, explained. In a nutshell. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Mace, your amateur Canadian, working to become a professional Canadian, but it takes time, you see. You really have to put in the work to earn your designation, to earn your stripes as a Canadian. You have to be able to drink syrup, make syrup, as well as ice skate for at least 3 hours per day and go to Tim Hortons and say sorry. That's what that's about. What's happening in this video? I have no idea. All right, cafe and the German people's love for it, and the, I'm guessing, history from DW Euro Max. Welcome. Let's go. Or should I say welcome or willkommen?
Did you know that Germany's afternoon coffee and cake tradition actually precedes the British afternoon tea? Whilst Germany is maybe more known for its beer or its bread, cake is actually a pretty big deal here. So what else do you need to know about cake here? Grab a fork, let's dive in.
Well, of course, coffee and cake in Germany predates the British tea and biscuits. The British are uncivilized.
Cake in Germany comes with its own rituals, namely Kaffee und Kuchen, coffee and cake, usually enjoyed in the afternoon around 3:30, especially with friends and family on Sundays. A trip to my German grandparents isn't complete
45 minutes. I'm getting cake.
without this ritual.
Now's a good time to examine the German classics at the end of our forks. This one is world famous.
Schwarzwälder
Black
Kirsch.
Forest Gatto, or Schwarzwälder Kirschtorte. Quite a mouthful.
I didn't quite pronounce that correctly, but
Literally.
I tried.
It's famous for its copious layers of cream, chocolate, and of course, cherries. It's not clear exactly where
Yum.
this cake originates from. Schwarzwälder would suggest Germany's Black Forest, but there are lots of myths and legends surrounding its origin.
Other cakes are also named after German towns and regions.
Frankfurter Kranz, Lübecker Marzipantorte. That looks like a Italian word almost. I'd like some pizza, some marzipantorte.
Besides the Black Forest Gatto, there's the Lübeck marzipan cake and the Frankfurt crown cake. Marzipan cake is a Lübeck speciality, while the eponymous Frankfurt crown cake is one of the German financial capital's tastiest treats. Other German classic cakes are the bee sting cake, layered Frisian cake with short crust, crumble cake.
Was that a bee sting cake? A bee sting cake. How did it derive its name?
Are the bee sting cake, layered Frisian cake with short crust, crumble cake, poppy seed cake, and the famed apple cake.
Yeah, baby.
A few cakes are popular well beyond the borders of Germany, and some of their backstories have roots in what are now neighbouring countries.
Is that lemon meringue?
Regardless of where in Germany it's from though, you can get your cake from almost any bakery, or from specialised shops like patisseries or confectionaries that specialise in cakes and tarts. Never as good as Oma's secret recipe though. My Oma's plum cake is unbeatable.
Oma. Is that grandma or mum?
In Europe, the history of coffee and cake began in the 17th century, when the first coffee house opened in Venice. Following soon after was the Schutting Coffee House in Bremen, opening in 1673, the year German coffee and cake culture was born. Originally...
Somebody did mention, like she just said, in Bremen, that coffee shop or cake shop opened in 1673. Somebody mentioned that there's meat shops that have been around since like the year 1100 or even 1000. 1000, is that the right to say it? And also a brewery that's been open and in operation for north of, I think they said, 800 or 900 years. And so obviously an amazing history and tradition of foods and drinks and things that are communal, right? That you share together. So these are obviously some of those things that would fall under that umbrella. Like you have coffee or tea with family or friends or in a gathering, a communal event and a communal activity that everybody can participate in and share the news of the day. How was your day? Share the news of current events or things that are going on. So they definitely are these activities that are somewhat universal, but obviously Germany is going to have their very unique characteristics of their cake, and not to mention the history, because Canada, our day of, Canada wasn't a country until 1867, right? So 200 years later. So it's just the historical, there's just so much history that it creates all of these traditions. It's really cool.
Cake was eaten with knife and fork until the dessert fork was invented about 140 years ago in England. The little dessert fork was given a sharp edge to replace the knife.
Of course, you can rely on the Germans for some specific cake-related vocab. The most important one is the difference between Kuchen and Torte. It's confusing, but cake doesn't actually mean cake in German. Torte, or tart, is a cake made with cream, like this one. Whereas Kuchen, cake, is usually more related to drier doughs, sometimes with fruit. Then there's Kaffeeklatsch. I love this.
Is that coffee cake?
Exchanging gossip over coffee and cake.
Kaffeeklatsch. Does that mean coffee cake? No, it means exchanging. No, you were completely incorrect. It means exchanging gossip over coffee. So, good try though. Good try. Yeah.
Kaffeeklatsch. I love this. It literally means exchanging gossip over coffee and cake. And finally, Kalorienbombe. Quite literally, calorie bomb. Self-explanatory. Basically, cake.
I got that completely right. I thought in my head, Kalorienbombe. Like, I was like, oh, that's a calorie bomb. That's high in calories. That's after the meal or after the cake, you gotta loosen a couple belt notches, right? Because you're gonna be expanding. Your stomach is gonna be, if you have a lot of Kalorienbombe, you're gonna be, how should I put this? Let's not offend people.
Bomber. Quite literally, calorie bomb. Self-explanatory. Basically, cake made with cream and sugar.
Oh.
The classic German cakes are traditionally made with lots of sugar, butter, and cream. Tastes amazing, but...
Do you guys know hockey? Do you know what icing is? Sugar and butter.
Not exactly a superfood. That's why there are more and more vegan and healthy cafes like this one that offers exclusively vegan cakes.
Demand
I'm
for
just
vegan
kidding. I'm just kidding. I love vegans. I love everybody.
products has been rising noticeably for years in Germany. Pastry chef Steffi Trotzke is herself vegan and has set about reinventing German classics for her cafe without using any animal products.
Wow.
Ich habe auch manchmal Leute hier, die wirklich sagen, da muss Butter rein.
I wonder how it tastes.
Da muss Sahne rein, das ist alles nicht echt. Mir war es aber tatsächlich schon von Anfang an wichtig, dass es vegan ist. Ich finde, vegan und Bio gehört für mich zusammen. Die Nachhaltigkeit ist mir einfach wichtig. Ich arbeite aber auch nicht mit irgendwelchen...
See, you can still get the sweetness from things like this, right? You can have these plant-based sugars and different things like that. You can still get the sweetness and the cream they get from milks and different stuff, right? But for any vegans that are watching, let me know in the comments. Just show up, vegans. Make yourself known. And non-vegans, have you tried vegan cakes? Are they any good, or is it still like, that's, I'm not picky. I'm not a picky eater. I'm a very, very, very non-picky eater. Wow, I'm so eloquent today.
Zusatzstoffe. Solche Sachen verwende ich gar nicht.
Wie kommt dein veganes Kaffee an?
Was eigentlich das Schönste immer ist, dieses Lachen im Gesicht, wenn die wirklich alles essen können, weil viele so Eiallergie haben. Die ist total happy, wenn die vor der Vitrine stehen und die große Auswahl haben. Ich habe viele hier, die sagen, das schmeckt wie von Oma, der Streuselkuchen. Und das ist eigentlich das beste Kompliment.
German cake has always had a special place in my heart because of my German grandmother, and now I understand why her cakes are so good. It's part of German culture. My personal favorite will always be plum cake. What's yours? Let us know in the comments.
Plum cake. Excellent. Yeah, my mom, we always had rhubarb plants in the backyard, so my mom would always make rhubarb pie, and that was just a mainstay, right? Once you're harvesting all that rhubarb, she would have so much rhubarb. So she'd be making all of these different things from rhubarb. And so that's one memory I have. Rhubarb pie, excellent. Obviously, apple crumble was another favorite because you can get these fruits in abundance sometimes. Maybe you have an apple tree, and we actually did have an apple tree in the backyard. It's gone now. But, you have buckets and buckets of apples. And what do? You make applesauce, you make apple pie, you make apple crumble. I'm not like an expert on cooking or baking, so I'm sure there's lots of other things that she was making that I was probably eating. Apple tarts, like little pie, butter tart apple things, were fantastic. And yeah, that's just a couple of things that I could think of. I definitely miss my mom's cooking when I lived at home. Like, that's what I mean. When I lived at home, it was nice because she's an excellent cook and a great mother. I love her very much. All right, we will see you on the next video, everybody. Take care of yourselves. There is a link in the description if you want to send me anything to check out on the channel, and I can do that absolutely. Until then, ciao.